the end of May. Freelancing with Sonny with the ever so lovely Linda Giannini.
Why, thank you, Sonny.
You're welcome. So I know you're from London, Ontario.
Yes, I am.
How long have you been here?
In BC, about 15 years.
Awesome. Enjoying yourself?
Sure, it has its moments.
We all know you as this flamboyant performer, singer, actor, even model if you really wanted to get into that. However, where did it all begin?
Back in London, I guess, in high school.
High school?
High school.
I hear it was earlier than that.
Well, okay, I'd have to say that my first gig, like, media-wise, was when I was 5 years old. I was on a German radio station doing German Christmas poems. So that's where that started.
Multilingual, bilingual at
Yes,
least.
German, fluently.
Awesome. That's always good to know.
Yes.
In film, you push everything you got for those parts. So, you were in a German choir
I
at the
was.
German club. You sang on the radio or read German poems. And what else did you do? Any instruments?
Well, I played the flute in grade
Awesome.
7, and it wasn't actually the instrument that I wanted to pick because, as we know, in public school, you have to draw an instrument out of a hat, and I got the flute. I, however, did want to play the clarinet, but I got the flute.
Either way, flute or clarinet would have helped with the singing. The breathing techniques, did it help?
Yes, I was actually the first one to blow into the flute and learn it out of the class. So.
Because it's hard to get a sound out of those things.
Well, there was one instrument there that my mother, because she's German, full-blooded, she's a piano player, so she made me play the organ.
Yes.
So I'd have to go to organ classes all the time, and I hated it. So she put me into a concert, an organ concert, and I won first place. That's when I was 10.
Excellent.
But I should have kept it up.
It's
Because
up
then
to
you
you.
write your music and play. But no, I gave that up because I didn't like playing the organ. So,
Would you consider going back to it now as an adult?
well, you know, I have a little miniature keyboard at home, and I play around with it, kind of like, you know, freestyle, not necessarily to the notes or anything like that. That's fine.
Who were your influences as a kid, teenager? What rock and roll did you like?
Well, to be honest with you, Sonny, back in the day when I was in public school, you know, the guys in my neighborhood were into Rush, Metallica, Motorhead, all those, you know, like rock and roll stuff, and I was just prancing around with a preppy haircut, and I was into Michael Jackson, Boy George, Cyndi Lauper, and Madonna. So,
What made you turn to the dark side?
I guess after I started growing up a little bit, you know, through high school, because I went through all my phases. So I went through the prep, punk, new wave, and then the rocker style when I started wearing acid jeans and hanging out with all the rockers in high school, and that's when I started listening to Rush and Metallica and Iron Maiden, and then it just kind of grew from there.
Guitar rock. Yeah. Who were more fun to hang out with?
The rockers in high school, because they were the ones that always pulled out the joints early in the morning. Bad. No, not only that, they were a lot of fun. You know, into cars, and I was always a tomboy. Always have been a tomboy, so.
Someone as beautiful and feminine as yourself, a tomboy?
Well, don't get me wrong, Sonny, I was a late bloomer. I didn't start wearing a bra until I was 17 years old. That's because my father told me I needed one.
Really?
Yes.
Otherwise you didn't... If you could go without one, you probably would, or what?
Well, no, I just didn't get it. You know, I was out playing street hockey with the boys.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So for you to be in Little Guitar Army, you were ready to
I
hang
was
out
ready.
with the
I was ready to
boys.
hang out with the boys. Yeah.
And we did not know this. Had we known this,
yeah.
you guys, you know, and that was fun,
Yeah.
having you in the group. Not everything's perfect. Everything can be worked out.
No, of course not. I think it was an amazing experience, and I learned quite a bit from it. And yeah, it was a pleasure working with Cal. I mean, I had a great time recording and doing the 30 Watts of Freedom music video, as well as cutting the album together and finishing that. And of course, the cover of the Georgia Strait. That was a huge accomplishment. And but it was a lot of hard work, and I had no idea that it takes that much work and energy.
It takes
You
more.
have to put into a band. Yeah,
It takes more than that.
yeah, it's exhausting. you
I
know?
mean, one rehearsal a week, that's bare minimum.
yeah,
Otherwise, when I was a kid, I rehearsed 3 times a week. And Def Leppard, I heard, they rehearsed every night.
wow.
Yeah, well, what else are you going to do?
Well, I guess it's a little different if you're getting paid. I'd love to,
They weren't getting
rehearsing every
paid.
night. Oh, really?
They
Oh,
were
God.
kids.
I don't know if I could do that.
No, it's
Go to work and
discipline.
rehearse. Holy smokes! It's
I-
like some of the guys in the band.
Mhm.
They're playing in 5 different bands. I'm
Mm.
like, how do they do it? On
It's
top
what
of
we-
working full time.
It's
That's
what
incredible.
we do. It's what we do.
It's incredible.
And we love it. It's the sense of camaraderie. You make a whole whack of friends. I mean, really.
Yeah.
In that crazy scene, you made a few friends.
Yeah. I made a ton of. I met like really great people, and yeah, it's a very interesting scene, I must say.
I felt like I was on a recreational hockey team in that band or soccer team. You meet them once a week and we do our thing and everyone goes their own way. Now, you have a background in acting and drama.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I've acted in like 10 feature independent horror films. I was quite active doing background work for 4 years in Vancouver here. Hosted and produced segments for Shaw Television with Johanna Ward, which was part of the Daily Magazine show. I did that for 3 years.
Excellent.
Yeah, along with like a lot of freelancing, videography, photography, which brought me into working with Tanya Van for the Skinny magazine.
Mhm.
So I've shot probably close to 100 bands in the rock and roll scene here.
You're
in
quite an
Vancouver.
accomplished photographer, I might add.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
I think that rock and roll is multitasking. 1 minute you're the photographer, you're a model, you're an actor, you're a singer. We all have to take a crack at all the different facets. And then when we understand it a little better, it's easier to deal with other bandmates, when you switch instruments and all that. Are there any musical role models, influences that you have? Who did you aspire to be?
Oh dear. I don't know if I want you to ask me that question because the
did.
people watching this have been just
go
like,
ahead.
what?
That's what we want to know.
I'd have to say a female role model would have been Madonna because of all her costume changes, her talents, really, really kind of like, bringing different stuff to the table, not your ordinary, usual singer. And
She pushed
and
the envelope.
dancing, absolutely.
She
And
challenged
there was always
people's
something
morals.
different. Yep. So
So
through the years,
Linda
I
will
always been stuck
challenge
with
your
that.
morals. No, I'm kidding.
I guess that's where I learned a bit of like, stage presence, like getting on stage and costumes and dancing and choreography and that sort of thing, always kind of really focused on that sort of thing to perform and really give a great show because that's what the audience wants to see at the end of the day, a really great, spectacular show.
Many people from our audience miss you. No matter where you go now, you have a little Linda fan club.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
I'll give them your phone number. All of them. No, I'm
No, that's a
kidding.
secret. Shh, Sonny.
Now, what else is going on here? Any other vocally? Any singers that influenced you?
Oh dear.
Pat Benatar.
Yes. Yeah, all the old schoolers,
Name
Kim
them.
Carnes, Pat Benatar, Alana Miles. I mean, the list can go on. The list can go on.
You haven't-
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. Everyone has their influences, and they're yours.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing worse than everybody from a particular genre, from a particular town, all blurting out the same 5 to 10 influences.
Yeah.
I don't care what names you get called, they're yours.
Yeah.
I got mine. Not everyone's a huge Iron.
Everyone has their own, and
Exactly.
I don't judge people by what they listen to or what their influences are. We're all different, so to each his own.
Now, a most influential rock guitarist, used to be metal, now we call him rock, is Eddie Van Halen. You know who his guitar hero was?
No.
Eric Clapton.
Yeah, I like Eric Clapton.
But does Eddie sound like Eric?
No.
Okay, you know who Eric's big guitar hero was? B.B. King. Does he sound like,
No, yeah, exactly.
everybody, and B.B. King's big hero was Django Reinhardt. I like them all, and I'm bored from everybody. Same with you as a singer. I just want to know, who shook your tree? Who made you go, I want to sing?
I think it's just naturally because, I was in choirs, my whole life through public school, and then in high school, choir and drama classes, and I just felt that I always had a voice. And, I'd have to say Cal from Little Guitar Army really, really pushed the envelope with me and said, you can do it, just, come out. And at first I was, had the fear.
A little hesitant.
And was like a little hesitant, but I thought, if you can't get over the fear and just give it a shot, I mean, if it works, it works. And fortunately, I actually pushed the levels in my vocals and in my voice, and yeah, just really, really was impressed by myself of what I vocally did.
What you're capable of.
What I was capable of.
And
yeah.
I personally still think you're capable of more.
I do as well. And, I'm waiting for something else, or just taking a break, and, we'll see. Really, thinking about jazz and blues, and, we'll see what comes along.
Now, I'm going to push you a little in terms of film. I have a couple credits in the Actors Union ACTRA, or in BC, UBCP. I can easily see you earning your credentials. You can speak German fluently. You're tall, you're beautiful. You have a background. You went to school, to a police academy at one point?
Yeah, I went to police academy for 2 years. That was something my parents wanted me to do. They wanted me to become a police officer. But then I slowly learned that wasn't really up my alley or what I wanted to do. So.
But it's in your bag of tricks.
Yes, I have many. I'm a chameleon, as they say. I have many bags of tricks.
Now, anyone who
tricks in the bag, anyways, so to speak.
Now, anybody at a certain age, who won't say what it is, you go through life and you accumulate a number of experiences. You can ride a horse, correct?
Yes.
You ride a moped.
Yes.
You ride a scooter. These are all skills that are coveted in the film industry. And you're tall. You're statuesque. For a lady cop, bang. And what if she's an angry lady cop who suddenly blurts out something in German? You're the cop. I would gun for you and say, I know the perfect girl for that part.
Sonny, has anyone told you today that you're just wonderful?
Not yet. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome, Sonny.
Hey, this is Freelancing with Sonny, and thank you so much for the interview,
well,
Linda.
Thank you very much, Sonny. It's a pleasure.
I like to push the buttons and try and get some Linda-ness out of you.
Yes, it's always wonderful to see you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.